Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back in another video, and today we're going to take a look at the NFL Transformers crossover, a Supreme Transformers crossover, and a bunch of different rumors that are coming down the pipeline. Also going to look at a few other different rumors for Transformers that may get some fans excited and may get some fans kind of like, maybe I'll pass on that one. Of course, I got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. Alright, so the first thing that I want to address is this tariff situation, right? Entertainment Earth right now has raised their prices because of the tariff situation. They're adding like another $2 to $5, but they do have more stuff in stock. So if you are trying to get some of the figures, you will be able to use my, affiliate links to get 10% off anything that's in stock. I also have Amazon affiliate links, because I know a lot of folks, they're trying to shop around. They'll go to places like Big Bad Toy Store, which I don't have an affiliate link with, which is fine. You can go to Hasbro, Pulse, wherever you're trying to get your Transformers, figures. And if they're more expensive for you, it just kind of sucks. I'm not addressing any kind of, political issues or anything like that, but I do want to just say that I'm hoping that this thing works itself out. And because, with figures going up in price, it becomes very, very difficult to remain a collector when there's so many cool Transformers coming out. I mean, I'm looking at, I want the aerial bots, and, I want Bruticus, and it's like, I got to pick and choose, based upon my own budget about what I want to get. And I think that's kind of the same thing for everybody. It's like some folks are like, I'm all in on this one, or I'm all in on that one, I'm going to wait on that one. And that's fine. You should never let the hobby get to the place where you just can't afford to buy action figures. There are plenty of things that, are out there for you. And don't feel bad if you can't get it right now. Work on making sure that you and your family are taken care of. That's, I think, should always be number one. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the rumor that is coming out right now for what the next missing Link figure will be. We have RC that is currently, I think she's up for pre-order right now. Folks are going for her, but Grimlock and Ultra Magnus apparently are the next rumored figures for Missing Link, which is great because they're going to add a lot of posability to those figures that didn't have them before. Grimlock is pretty posable, the original figure was, but should just add a little bit to him where you can move his shoulders around, whereas Ultra Magnus in fully combined mode was a brick. So to add a lot more posability to that original figure will be very welcome indeed. And, we'll see what colors they choose. We're probably going to do a toy variant and cartoon variant for both of them, I'm sure. But we'll see where they go. Now, this is one you guys are going to have to explain to me. What is Supreme? I really don't know. Apparently at Supreme stores, I guess they're a clothing line or something. They're getting their own crossover Transformer. It's basically that reissue G1 Optimus Prime in this red and gold color scheme with the Supreme on the truck. And, they're going to be sold, I think they're going to be sold specifically at Supreme stores, so you'll see them in stock there, which is kind of a neat novelty item. I would more so prefer the Pepsi Prime. That would be more up my alley for anything, as far as colors are concerned. This is a little odd to me, but, I'm sure some folks are, I guess if you're a person who shops at Supreme, it'll be right up your alley. So, yeah. Now, this is pretty cool. I do have the soundtrack, the vinyl for the original Transformers cartoon for the soundtrack, but now they're releasing the movie soundtrack in vinyl format, which is very cool as well. I don't have a vinyl player, a record player, so I know I'm saying vinyl player, but old school, we all know it was called a record player, right? So but having that available to you, to be able to play like, on a record player, if you get a new modernized version of one, is kind of neat too. As it stands right now, it is going to be available at the movies label for $27.99, I think it's euros. And then through other websites, it'll be available for $34.99, via Amazon. So I'll make sure to put the affiliate links in the description. Now, we also got our first look at Devastator, almost complete, just missing Scrapper, and he looks awesome. I really have to say, this completed Devastator looks a lot better in person, or not really. I mean, I saw the thing in person in grayscale, but seeing it in color really makes it pop. I love the color scheme that they've chosen for him. Scavenger looks great. Mixmaster looks great. Really curious what the robot's going to look like. I think the only figure that when I look at Devastator individually that I don't care for specifically is Bone Crusher. And I wanted Bone Crusher to be a little bit better, looking at the figure itself, but those arms are stumpy in the way that the waist is. I wish there was like an upgrade kit for that version of Bone Crusher, but, other than that, the rest of Devastator looks awesome. In combined mode, he looks great, and I can't wait to actually complete the Studio Series 86 Devastator. Now, I mentioned this before in a live stream. I was talking about Transformers Cyberworld and the importance of trying to make a new Transformers cartoon that is accessible to younger audiences. They're going to have a new cartoon that's going to come out sometime around July, to my understanding. I could be wrong, but it's all those episodes are going to be like 5 minutes long. It's going to be on YouTube, and it's going to be a very simplistic kids cartoon. And that's fine. Like, you can have your adult collector line and then have your kid-centric line. And you have all these different Transformers. You have this Megatron that transforms into a bull. It is the weirdest thing ever. It's a very simplistic and almost really kidified looking toy, but some kids really dig it. And that's awesome. Having an Optimus Prime, obviously, you're always going to have an Optimus Prime and a Megatron on the toy shelf. It's one of those things where they know that marketability with Transformers is they have to really sell those two toys. For every Optimus Prime they sell, they can add, some oddball character like Skybite, who is a fan favorite for a lot of people, but will he sell if they make a lot of him? And this particular Skybite transforms into a race car, which is kind of a throwback to one of the Robots in Disguise episodes, and that tail can connect to his back, so it can, look off, but this is kind of making him like King Shark. It's kind of a nice throwback there. I mean, yeah, there is the new Age of Prime Skybite figure, which is the more for the adult collector. There's this weird looking Galvatron and all the different weapons and stuff. It's really not up my alley as far as something that I would collect, but I'm hoping that something like this, can get new kids interested in Transformers. Right now in Japan, Transformers Wild King is on YouTube right now, and you can watch it in every market with subtitles, but it's in Japanese, and they are releasing a toy line where they all combine, and it's Optimus Prime and Megatron and a bunch of different Transformers characters that are very different. It's a kid's cartoon, it's the best thing I can say about that. But if you're trying to get your Transformers fix and you want something a little bit more on the adult side, I'm going to tell you right now, this Transformers comic has been awesome. I know not everybody likes it. The artwork is full of energy, lots of wrestling moves added to the Transformers. It crosses over with G.I. Joe in a lot of places, but it has its own set story that it's telling. G.I. Joe is telling its own story, but they are crossing over. And then, of course, you have Void Rivals, which is another book that is doing really well. It has Hot Rod in it and Springer. Really, really great series. I really recommend reading it. If you are not looking for the kidified cartoons and you want a really good Transformer story, I really recommend picking up the comic books for the Transformers Energon universe. If you can, it's obviously now we're looking at reaching, almost 24 issues. And at that point, Daniel Warren Johnson is going to be coming off the book, but the artwork is going to be very similar because he's got the same, it's going to have the same styling for artwork, but we'll see where the writing goes after the major arc ends at issue 24. And it's just been a wild ride, man. I'm telling you, you guys gotta I really recommend picking, reading this comic book. The Void Rivals, the G.I. Joe, the Transformers, all of it. It's just all been excellent. Really, really excellent. And now for something really weird. For the adult collector. Quite literally for the adult collector who is more so into sports than they are into Transformers. NFL Transformers collaboration, and the first lineup of figures is being unveiled here. We don't know pricing yet. They're going to be 5.5-inch figures that transform into a football helmet, and they're all given names. It's the same toy mold, just with your team's colors. So you'll have your Kansas City Chiefs, which is KC59. Star Blitz is for the Dallas Cowboys. Steel Smash for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Tundra Prime for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not a big sports guy at all. But this is something kind of neat just for the football fan. What'll probably happen is that they'll be sold through their own, organization. So if you go to a Dallas game, you'll find the Dallas Cowboys Star Blitz figure. You'll probably be able to get the entire wave of figures being sold at a store somewhere, or maybe in like the sports section of the toy aisles. But these robots, they all transform into a football helmet. They all have the same helmet, but you can take the helmet off and it has a face, and then it has like a gridiron face like this. It's kind of weird. You have your Steel Smash here, and I'm just going to try to run through them all. It's so odd. It's, like I said, it's not something I would ever collect myself. I kind of find it funny because a friend of the channel, Deluxe Baldwin, he is a big time Washington Redskins, Commanders, whatever you want to call them, fan, and he wants one for that, and he is really, really upset that the Cowboys got theirs first. But it's like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just not something I would collect. I'm more into the Age of Prize and Studio Series 86 stuff. Like, that's what I'm collecting. And that's what's cool about Transformers right now is, like, if there's something that you want to collect, go for it. But if it's not something that's, up your alley, then you don't have to collect it. Like, it's the same thing for the Cyberworld and Wild King stuff. Those are definitely kids' cartoons. If you're into the, you want a more of an adult, centric story, you've got the Energon universe for the comic books, and you have great toys coming out of Age of Primes and the Studio Series 86 line. Then if you want something completely different, you got this. Sports crossing over with Transformers. It's the weirdest thing ever. We certainly live in a very, very interesting world right now, and I'm just hoping the best for all of you. I am going to be making more Transformers videos and retrospectives and news stuff in the coming days. I know my videos have been on the rather short side. Some things have been coming up, on the back end that has slowed me down as far as making new videos. But I fully intend to keep on going and producing everything from toy reviews and, show reviews too. Like I need to actually sit down and watch the entirety of the rest of Earthspark so I can actually give it a proper review. And maybe I'll also give a review for things like Wild King. And I should do a full-on, arc review for the parts of the Energon universe to kind of give you guys a rundown of it all, because it's a lot to go through. It is. But you can stay tuned for all of it. And, be sure to check out my other videos as well. I want to know what you guys think about this Transformers news. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.